Hi, I'm Gidon from thetechnologyman.com. The Anker PowerHouse 757 portable power station comes from a brand synonymous with portable charging solutions. It has nearly every feature you might want, including two 1500 watt AC outlets, a 1229 watt hour long lasting LiFePO battery, super quick 1000 watt mains charging, and both 100 watt and 60 watt USB power delivery. These power stations are perfect for power cuts, camping, travel and festivals, and around the house and out and about to charge all your tech. And this Anker unit can charge up to 300 watts off solar panels alone when mains isn't available. I'll run through its capabilities and thoroughly test all its claims to help you decide if this is the right power station for you. So let's take a closer look. The power station comes well packaged with a tough outer box. Inside you get a box of accessories, a user manual and the charger itself. Anker includes a mains charging cable, a car charging cable with an XT60 connector, and there's a 3x XT60 to XT60 parallel charging cable for connecting Anker's optional solar panels. There's also a protective cover for the charging station, which is a nice touch I've not seen before. The multilingual user manual is clear and concise. The power station has an uncluttered, elegant design and feels very well built, with an aluminium frame and a grey and black hard plastic outer shell. Like other power stations I've reviewed, it doesn't have any ruggedness or waterproof rating, but the included protective cover would offer some protection if using it outdoors. There are two substantial carry handles and they've kept the top flat, which is handy for charging laptops, etc. You'll generally need both these handles to carry the power station, which weighs in at a fairly hefty 20 kilograms thanks to the 1229 watt hour LiFePO battery. This LFP battery technology, based on lithium phosphate chemistry, weighs more than standard lithium-ion batteries that use NMC or nickel manganese cobalt chemistry. They support 3000 complete charge cycles compared to 500 to 1000 cycles for NMC batteries, and allows Anker to offer a 5-year warranty with these power stations. You can see its dimensions on screen, but it's not as big as I was expecting, considering its capacity and 1500 watt output. Anker's website provides a few examples on what you could run off this power station and for how long, and I'll show some real life examples shortly. But anything from a portable fridge to a coffee maker to a CPAP machine to an electric lawnmower is possible. The front of the unit has a large LCD display with an LED light strip above it with its own button. Beside this screen is a button to turn this display on and a power saving mode switch to automatically turn off the power station when your devices are fully charged. There's also a reset switch to factory reset the unit. Below the display is a 12 volt 10 amp or 120 watt car socket output with its own switch, one 100 watt USB-C port, one 60 watt USB-C port and 4 standard USB-A 5 volt 2.4 amp 12 watt ports. Then you have two pure sine wave 220 volt 50 Hz AC outlets with their own power button. These outlets support 1500 watts continuous output but can briefly surge to 2400 watts. The number of outputs varies depending on region. In the US you'll get 610 volt outputs. Around the back of the unit you have the 1000 watt mains charging input and the 11 to 30 volt 10 amp XT60 DC charging input for charging using the car charging cable or optional solar panels. There's also the AC overload protection button. The ports are protected via a hinge cover, which I found a little tricky to release with my short fingernails. The sides of the unit have large cooling vents with no less than 5 fans underneath the right vent that suck in cool air and exhaust the hot air via the other side. There are no wireless charging pads like on some power stations I've tested, and there's no integrated Bluetooth to monitor and control the unit via a smartphone app. This is also one of the few units I've tested that has no 12 volt DC 5525 outputs, but I've never found these particularly useful anyway. One of my favourite features of this power station is mains charging. You don't need any AC adapter. It charges directly off mains using the ubiquitous IEC mains cable, often called a kettle lead in the UK. It's the same cable that plugs into the back of your PC, and even if you lose a supplied one, you should always be able to find a spare. And this input supports up to an impressive 1000 watts using Anker's hyperflash technology, which can fast charge the unit from completely flat to 80% charge in 1 hour, according to Anker. In my test, I got to between 75 and 78% in 1 hour, but achieved a full charge in under the quoted 1.5 hours. Charging times will vary slightly based on ambient temperatures and the temperature of the unit itself. In comparison, my Jackery Explorer 1000 needs a supplied 180 watt charger and will take over 5 hours for a full charge. The fans do turn on intermittently whilst charging, and there's no way to slow charge the unit to possibly extend battery life. But I don't think Anker would be offering a 5-year warranty if they didn't have complete faith in their charging system. You can also charge the unit at up to 120 watts using the supplied car charging cable via the XT60 DC input, which will charge the unit in around 10 hours. With a bench power supply set to 30 volts and 10 amps, I was able to charge at just under 275 watts using this input. So if your car has a 24 volt output, you could charge the power station faster. Anker recommends using 3 of their 100 watt 625 solar panels, together with the included 3-way parallel charging cable to charge the power station at up to 300 watts using solar power. The power station has a built-in MPPT controller for more efficient solar charging. I didn't have any Anker solar panels to test, but I tried connecting a single 160 watt solar panel I had, which worked fine. This panel has the common MC4 connectors, so I used an MC4 to XT60 cable I had spare to connect the panel to the Anker. I got 55 to 60 watts on a bright but cloudy summer's day in the UK. I also tried connecting 3 120 watt solar panels in parallel using some 3-way MC4 branch connectors. In again bright but cloudy conditions, I got 100 to 150 watts, peaking at around 180 watts. I have little doubt that without any cloud coverage I could get close to the 300 watt maximum. But even at around 150 watts you should be able to completely charge the unit in 8 to 10 hours. And in perfect conditions you could charge the unit from empty to 80% in just over 3.5 hours. The DC input supports 11 volts to 30 volts at 10 amps. So if you're going to connect more than one typical 20 volt panel, you'll need to connect them in parallel, not series. Otherwise you'll exceed the maximum input voltage. This is very easy either with the supplied cable and Anker's panels, or these cheap branch connectors and an XT60 adapter. You'll need to check the voltage of your panels, and remember that in series you add the voltages together for each panel, and in parallel you add the current for each panel. The voltage stays the same. I did test the over voltage protection connecting two 20 volt 120 watt panels in series, and the power station did protect itself by refusing to charge. You can't charge via the mains and DC inputs at the same time. Mains will always override the DC input, but at the speed of AC charging that's not really an issue. When charging you'll see the battery percentage, a charging icon, the charging input wattage, and an estimated time remaining to a full charge based on this input wattage. You can use all of the outputs while the power station is charging. The power station has a built-in 1500 watt inverter, which will support a brief surge to 2400 watts. This makes it one of the most powerful portable power stations I've tested so far, and it should be enough for even power-hungry devices. This UK version has two 50Hz 220 volt outlets, both with a pure sine wave output, which I confirmed with a graphical multimeter. This is important for sensitive electronics. I tested these outputs with a variety of devices. The LCD display shows the current output power and remaining battery capacity based on this instantaneous power. First off I tried mowing the lawn with a 1500 watt Flymo lawnmower, which ran fine at just under 1200 watts. I could also run a 720 watt angle grinder, a 1750 watt heat gun, a 1250 watt SDS drill, and an 1100 watt compressor. The large startup draw of an old 1500 watt circular saw was a little too much for it, shutting off the AC subsystem. You just need to wait a few seconds and you can turn AC back on again. Around the house I could run a 1550 watt hairdryer, an espresso coffee machine, a heater and a toaster. Interestingly, if I ran anything over 1500 watts for more than a few seconds, the output dropped to the maximum 1500 watts of the power station. Using an energy monitoring plug, it looks like the Anker will drop the output voltage for devices like this to keep them within its limits. This heater runs normally at its low 1000 watt setting, but if I bump it up to its full 2000 watt setting, it will hold close to this output for 5 to 10 seconds and then drops to around 1500 watts, with the voltage dropping from around 225 volts to 200 volts. It's the same with this toaster when I switch it from 2 to 4 slots, doubling its output. It's fine with devices like this with heating elements, but I'd be a little careful plugging in sensitive electronics that exceed 1500 watts. To measure the capacity of the built-in 1229 watt-hour battery, I ran a heater via an energy monitoring plug at around 1000 watts until the power station turned off. The heater ran for 1 hour 18 minutes and consumed 1063 watt hours. Power stations like this will always have conversion losses, and anything over 80% is pretty good. The Anker works out at 1063 watt hours divided by 1229 watt hours, which is around 86%. I did a similar test using the DC output with a 10 amp electronic load attached. I measured 1052 watt hours, which is very close to the result under an AC load with the same 86% efficiency. The Anker PowerHouse also has a very useful UPS or uninterruptible power supply function. When the power station is charging off mains, any mains devices you plug in will bypass the power station and run directly off mains at up to 1500 watts until there's a power cut, when they'll switch across to the power station's battery. It doesn't support professional grade 0ms switching, but Anker quotes less than 20 milliseconds to switch across, which I confirmed with a graphical multimeter. I could also see the status LED blink on my heater when I pulled the charging cable on the power station to simulate a power cut. I tried this with various devices, including my desktop PC, and it worked very well, directly comparable to my dedicated APC ES700 UPS, but with far longer battery life. I tested the 12V 10A car outlet charging another power station at around 110 watts. I tested this port to its limits with an electronic load tester, ramping up the current to 11.6 amps, exceeding its 10A rated output. The PowerHouse displayed 155 watts before it shut off with its overload protection kicking in. Finally, I tested the USB ports. I'm really pleased to see 2 USB-C power delivery ports to charge your phone, tablet, laptop, and the ever-increasing number of gadgets that support USB power delivery. The 100-watt output is enough for even power-hungry devices like the latest MacBook Pros. I tested both USB-C ports charging this Gulu GT3000 jump starter, which is one of the few devices I own that will charge at up to 100 watts over USB-C power delivery. I got almost a full 100 watts from the 100-watt port and around 60 watts from the 60-watt port. It's worth noting that you'll need a 100-watt rated USB-C cable with the eMark chip to use the 100-watt port at its full output. The 4 USB-A ports don't have any fast charging capabilities like Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 or 4.0, but I tested them up to their 2.4 amp or 12-watt maximum output with a load tester and they worked fine. Most of the time the power station is silent in operation, and with low power devices its cooling fans will rarely kick in, which is great if you're powering something overnight like a CPAP machine. The only time I got all 5 cooling fans to come on is whilst mains charging. Around 1 metre away I measured 46 decibels, around 11 decibels louder than room noise, with all 5 cooling fans running, which is the worst case scenario. And they do keep everything cool, which I confirmed with a FLIR thermal imaging camera. The power saving mode switch is a useful feature that turns off the power station when everything connected to it is fully charged. If you want to connect devices that use low power or intermittently turn on and off, you can easily turn this switch off. So you should leave this turned off for portable fridges, CPAP machines, etc. If the AC and car outlet subsystems are turned on, they will slowly drain the battery even if nothing is connected when the power saving mode is turned off. The LED light strip above the LCD screen has 3 brightness levels which change with each press of the button, and an SOS mode that can be activated if you hold this button down for 2 seconds. It's not your typical harsh white LED having a warm soft light. It's not super bright, but will be useful for camping or emergencies. It's difficult to fault the Anker PowerHouse 757. Its 1500 watts of output is enough to power even power-hungry devices, and the 1229 watt-hour battery can keep lower powered items running for days. I'm pleased to see Anker use a LiFePO battery that can remain in a healthy state after 3000 complete charging cycles. It is heavier than power stations using more traditional lithium-ion batteries, but I think it's worth it for up to 6 times longer battery life. These power stations are a considerable investment. You want it to last, and it's reassuring that Anker offer a 5-year guarantee, longer than any other brand of portable power station I've tested so far. I was also impressed with the charging speeds. I could fully charge this unit in under 1.5 hours and directly off mains without having to carry an AC adapter. If I was being picky, I'd like an app to monitor and control the unit, a user replaceable battery, some fast charging USB-A ports, and a couple of wireless charging pads wouldn't go amiss. But these are all minor points. If you don't need the power or capacity of this unit at the top of Anker's range, they also do smaller models, including the 500-watt 535 and the 200-watt 521 PowerHouse models, that all still come with long-lasting LiFePO batteries. I've not tested them yet, but I'll provide a link down below so you can check them all out for yourselves, or you can just search Anker PowerHouse on Google for further details and pricing. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you considering this power station, or if you already have it, what do you think of it? And as always, if you have any questions, please ask. I read every comment and I'll do my best to respond. I do hope you found this video useful. Please like the video if you did. I'm releasing videos every week on the latest technology and how to get the most out of it, so please make sure you subscribe. And don't forget to tap the bell icon if you want to get notified as soon as a new video gets uploaded. Thanks for watching.